Kia ora koutou, hello and welcome to Flourishing Through Positive Education. My name is Natalie Calder and I am the founder of Being Education Learning to Flourish, as well as the author of the Classroom Connections project. Thank you for joining me today. My goal in life is to empower educators to transcend the rising youth mental health rates by providing children with tools and techniques that are scientifically proven to aid them in flourishing, to introduce children to techniques and tools that will help them to find self-esteem, self-confidence, to learn about themselves and to be able to build positive relationships with each other. Okay, so thank you for joining me today and thank you for being a champion for the children that are in your care. Okay, so today we are actually, having said all of that, today we are actually going to have a little bit of a change because we are going to look at educator self-care. As educators, we spend so much time caring for others. We are naturally, I think, empathetic people that just tend to look after others and work really hard. I'm not saying that other occupations don't work just as hard, but I think as teachers we do put ourselves all out there, and that's why when we get to the holidays often we get sick or different things like that. So I really wanted to focus this chat today on educator self-care and the things that we can do to look after ourselves. Awesome, so sit back and relax and hopefully you'll get some insights and some things that you can try out of this video. Okay, now I think for me this has been a real journey. Like anything in life, anything worth learning, you don't learn it normally all at once. It's sort of a bit of a build-up over many years. Thinking about self-care though, I think one particular time in my life really stands out to me. It was about 4 years ago now and I had just lost my mum. She had just passed away. Kind of knew that was happening, but still of course was a little bit of a shock when it did. And I'd actually lost my dad a couple of years prior. So for me, not only losing my mum was massive, but also then not having either of my parents. It's just, yeah, it was a really hard time for me. Anyway, so I had been on this journey of self-care or learning ways to look after myself, ways to, or things to teach in class that might be useful for well-being. And so I was on this journey anyway, and I had some pretty solid tools that I was using. I had gone through a bit of a time when Dad had passed away that I'd sort of neglected those, and I really saw the impact that had on my life for a while there. I couldn't meditate, and I wasn't looking after my eating, and I wasn't being physically active. I just was neglecting myself, and I felt really terrible. And while I did do that as well for a little while, when Mum first passed, I think just that was my grieving. Okay, so but then I realised that I needed to look after myself better, and I thought, right, what is it that I really need? And what I ended up doing was going on a yoga and meditation retreat, and it was just the most amazing. It's not the thing for everybody, but for me it was just the most amazing, beautiful experience. We had silent times where there was just no talking. You would just walk around, you would nod, you would smile at other people, but there was no small talk. There was none of that sort of pressure of chatting to anyone. You just were there for yourself for whatever your needs were. You had morning yoga. We did some work in the gardens. It was just really beautiful, and I was lucky. I got to do that. My husband had the children for the week. I was able to afford to fly to go to the top of the South Island to do that, but yeah, it was just really amazing. And coming back, I felt refreshed. I felt like I'd had the opportunity to do the grieving I needed to do at the time, and also to just really focus on myself. And it really just reiterated to me how important that is. Now, I'm not saying that you need to take a whole week away and go on some elaborate retreat every holidays, by no means. But it just, for me, it was a real eye-opener as to just how important these things are. Yeah, so I think we all know that things like being grateful, moving our bodies for 30 minutes each day, trying to stay positive, focusing on goals and sort of prioritising where we'd like to be, eating healthy food, trying to get enough sleep. These are all things that we know are important for us. So we're not really going to go too deeply into those today. I know that we all know these things. What I think is important for us is to actually think about how can we make sure we prioritise it for ourselves. Again, I think as educators, we're often looking out for everybody else. Many of us have got, we sort of get to the end of term and, we'll have other people that, like, while our children or our students are off away with their families, we'll have our own children or parents or nephews and nieces or pets or something else that kind of fills that void, and we don't always prioritise ourselves. So today I just wanted to focus on 3 kind of tools or 3 ways we can really put our self-care first, and 3 things that you can do over the next sort of 24 hours, or I'd like for you to commit to over the next 24 hours, to make sure that you come to the end of the holidays feeling as though you actually have had a bit of a break and that you have prioritised yourself. Awesome, so let's get into it. Okay, so number 1, I would like you to choose an activity or an event or something that you have really wanted to do or really wanted to learn for some time. It might be that there's a concert coming up, it might be that you've been wanting to learn to surf, it might be that you wanted to go on that retreat that you've sort of seen advertised around. So I want you to think about that one thing and I want you to book it in, okay? I know that can seem really massive. There's probably lots of things going through your head like, I don't know who's going to look after the kids, what about the house? We get these little voices in our head that tell us, oh, no, I just can't, I wouldn't be able to, maybe next holidays, okay? But I really want you to think about the thing that you'd really like to do, and I know it needs to be something that you can afford to do at the moment, but whatever that thing might be, and actually commit to it. Ring the person, message them, whatever you need to do to book it in, and then just trust that everything else will work out around it, okay? Because it will. So I'm probably one of those people, I am quite an introvert, and I am one of those people that really easily put things off. I think we spend so much of our time at school where we're really putting all the energy in and we're all go and we're trying to be positive and all of that, and then it comes to holidays and we just want to, for me, I think I just find excuses to perhaps not go and do something that, even if it's something I really want to do. So I think sometimes we just need to go, right, you know what, I'm going to commit, because from my experience, things do fall into place, things do manage to sort themselves out and enable you to be able to take part in that thing. And then that power that you get, that energy you get from heading away and going to that concert, or actually taking those lessons and learning to surf, something you've always wanted to do, or just treating yourself to something that's really important and really life-changing. Something that at the end of the holidays, when everyone goes, when you're all talking, and it's not about what everyone else says, but something when you get back to school and people are going, oh, what did you get up to? You can say, well, you know what? I went and did this, and I'm so glad that I did. Okay, so that is number 1. I want you to think about, what is that thing? What I really, really love to do. Okay, and of course, like I said before, it does need to be, you need to think about the money. I mean, it might be that you really want to go to Paris, but, maybe this time it's just getting to a museum that you've always wanted to go to, or that retreat, or something like that. We can hold on to that dream of Paris for next time. Okay, but commit to something and things will fall into place. Okay, so that's the one thing, and I'd love for you to leave me some messages or message me on Facebook or Instagram, let me know what you have committed to. Super, super exciting. Okay, and number 2 is something probably a little bit more of a commitment as far as time goes, but something I think that you will enjoy and something that I think could actually become a real game changer as far as your well-being goes, and something that hopefully you may actually find you take on board and use into the term and beyond. So I would like you to commit 10 minutes each day for something, some sort of self-care practice. Now that could be, if you're a meditator, it could be meditation of some sort. It could be journaling. It could be just committing to getting outside into nature and breathing for 10 minutes, gratitude journal, anything like that. Something that, there's a multitude of things. So something that you kind of resonates with you, something that you think, oh, I've always sort of wanted to try that, or it does sound like it would be quite good. It doesn't have to be anything huge, but just for 10 minutes each day. And I think the real key for this, and the thing that makes this successful, is actually committing a time. So opening up your calendar and blocking out a time and making that on repeat every single day. It can be any time. It can be when you first wake up in the morning. It can be before you go to bed at night. It could be in the middle of the day, whenever works for you. For me personally, I love my sort of half an hour first thing in the morning. That's just the way I work. I'm a morning person. I know my daughter's completely the opposite. She loves her quiet time or her little bit of reflection time or whatever in the evening. So that is completely up to you, what works for you. But I think the real key there is actually putting that in the calendar and actually trying to remind yourself each day. And I think too, also choose something now, or for a start, that you actually think you're going to enjoy, or you will enjoy. So don't make it too hard. Don't make it too hard, and don't overthink it. If it's just sitting down and committing to reading your book for 10 minutes, I do think it is something that it's definitely more beneficial to choose something that is quiet time. So I definitely don't recommend jumping on your phone for 10 minutes or checking out Netflix for 10 minutes. I'm sure you'll have other times during the day that you're able to do that. But something quiet, something relaxing, something where you can sort of focus in on self and just be for 10 minutes. Awesome. So that is the next wee challenge for you today, is to think about what that practice is. It may be a practice you're already doing that you'd like to commit a little bit more time to. It might be something completely new. Could be some stretching of your body, anything. And I want you to have a look at your calendar and just think, when can I do that? And actually just book it in. Book it in 10 minutes every day. It really isn't much, but it has the power to really change the way you're feeling. Okay, and last but not least, and something you will hear a lot about, it's this time of year, but just taking some time to reflect on the past year. And I know we talk about that with the new year coming, but often we don't actually really do it. We might sort of start thinking about what we want to get out of the next year, but do we really take the time to look back on what we've achieved this year and really congratulate ourselves and take the time to feel proud of ourselves and just thankful for the fact that we are still here, the fact that we've still got all these amazing things going on in our lives. I know for me personally, often you'll look back and the old negativity bias sometimes comes in, and you think about the negative things, not always the positive. But if you actually stop and think about it, the amazing children that you've had the chance to get to know this year, the relationships that you've formed with the whānau, the family and friends, the things that you've done yourself at home, the achievement of just keeping your own place running, keeping dinner on the table, and getting kids to sports, or making sure your pets walked each day, or any of those things. They all actually add up, and they're often things that we just let go by because they're daily, and we don't actually congratulate ourselves. Hey, you know what, you've done it again for a whole nother year, and look at you, look how far you've come, look how much you've learned, and look how much happier you are, or stronger you are. So I really do urge you to take some time to do that. And then, as we do often at this time of year, think about, okay, so when I do this again next year, what is it that I would really like to have achieved? And I'm not saying that you need to commit to anything just yet. You know, we don't have to do goals just because it's a new year. But I do think that there is huge benefit in thinking about what our goals will be for the next year. So yeah, it could be a good opportunity for you to start thinking, now what am I most proud of? And how am I going to keep momentum going in that? You know, what would I like to now do to build on that, you know, when the next year comes around? Awesome. So those are my 3 self-care tips for you this week. I would really love if you commit over the next 24 hours to just thinking about those things. 1, book in that special one-off for the holidays. 2, commit to that 10 minutes a day. And 3, really take some time to reflect and be proud of yourself for what you have achieved this year. If you can head into my Facebook or Instagram account. I have got lots of little self-care tips over the last 10 days, and still a few more to come. So just, if you'd like to have a look at those, give you some wee ideas, leave me a message, that would be wonderful. I'm going to take a little bit of a break over the holidays now and head away with my own family, but I just want to say a really Merry Christmas, wishing you a wonderful holiday, and please do leave me some comments. I'd love to hear what you're up to and how your commitments are going. Awesome, and we'll see you in the new year. Ka kite.